If you want to succeed in game development, or really anything at all, chances are you're going to need to take care of yourself to some degree. Now, there are some breakout cases where somebody has accomplished something great while shutting themselves off from their friends, working 12 hours a day and living on a pitifully small income, but the reason that these are so notable is because they're really uncommon. And even then, most of the people who do make it big from self-destructive work habits were making a bad decision. They may have had a much better chance of success had they taken care of themselves in the first place. So let's get into specifics. One of the most important things for pretty much any creative person is to not get rid of or forget all your friends. If you completely wreck your social life, you're going to have problems. Humans do thrive on social interaction and being able to talk to people, and it's not realistic to go solo and expect to be making art that people can relate to and enjoy. A lot of successful indies, for example Rami Ismail or Edmund McMillan, I can't pronounce his damn name, usually have romantic partners, and they're all very social people, hosting events, delivering talks, etc. Now, I'm not saying that every indie has to be highly extroverted, because that's just ridiculous, but you should have at least a friend or two who you're comfortable talking with to keep the social part of your brain happy and active. Also, working reasonable hours is a good thing to do. There are a lot of articles and videos online that talk about burnout and the fact that a lot of the time it results from working way too hard and then feeling creatively drained and just awful afterwards. The fact is that if you work a reasonable amount of 4 to 5 hours a day, or maybe even less, that's going to be more effective in the long term than working 10 hours a day and being tired and sad all the time. The fact is that everybody's optimal amount of work is different, and a lot of the time it comes down to what you're comfortable with. Plus, it can change over time. Sometimes you'll go through periods where you're happy to work on your game a lot, though I would stop myself from going over 8 hours a day just in case burnout sneaks up on you, which it very well can do. And you'll also go through periods where you find it difficult to focus after only 3 or 4 hours, or again, maybe less. Now, I think most days you should do at least something, since that's the whole topic of discussion, productivity, technique in itself, the concept of 0 days, i.e. days where you put no work into your game at all, and why you should avoid them at all costs. Even a tiny bit of work can keep you in the flow of things. And also, as kind of a side note to this, try to regularly make improvements that you can visualize easily. Things like, this database is now twice as efficient is cool, but it's usually pretty intangible. Programming a cool spaceship or a nice UI effect or whatever else you like, that'll remind you that yeah, you're working on a video game and that's rad as hell. However, that brings me to my next point, which is to be honest with yourself about when you need to take an extended break. Sometimes taking a week off is a good idea. Creativity does require constant exercise to stay in perfect shape, but paradoxically it sometimes also needs time to recharge. Now, if you're going to take a break, try not to let it be the result of your daily workload dwindling and dwindling until it becomes 0. Ideally, you'd find a reasonable amount of work to do on Sunday, and then on Monday you would decide, yeah, I'm going to take a break now. Just having control over things will psychologically help a lot. I mean, feeling like you have control is, I think, pretty fundamental to the human psyche. Also, if you do take a scheduled break and you want it to be exactly 4 weeks long, stick to it. I'm pretty guilty of not sticking to that myself. All too often I say, I'm taking a break, and then a few days later I'm back at it because I just want to work on something. But unfortunately, the ideas and even the willpower just won't flow. And this comes back to that bit about control that I mentioned. If you feel like your schedule is satisfactory and everything is going to plan, you're going to be a lot happier, more creative, and straight up better at game development in a lot of ways. And the last point that I should note, which is pretty generic, and really everybody should do this, is exercise and nutrition. Now, I am not here to just tell you to eat your greens. I know that a lot of people say this, and a lot of more people don't do it. But for real, it helps your body from feeling bad, and it stops your brain from feeling sad about the fact that your body feels bad. As for the nutrition bit, just eat vegetables and, I don't know, a multivitamin. I have multivitamins, and they're actually really good. I think maybe they've made a difference. It kind of feels like it. I can't tell. Either way, it's good just to keep that in mind, because deficiencies are no fun, especially in vitamin B and vitamin D, which are both easy to get deficient on if you're not careful. Anyway, that's about all I have to say about this, so thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos when I try to tell you how to live your life. Don't listen to me, man. I'm the man, trying to keep you down. I'm trying to stop you from shooting heroin outside a strip club and playing rock music really loud on spiky guitars without any hearing protection. Also, for the sake of this analogy, you all have mohawks, leather jackets, and lip piercings. I'm not sure why or what this analogy really conveys, but I guess you guys are cool punk dudes now. Goodbye. Alright, so because I can't remember to self-promote to save my life, I have to add this bit on the end separately, so feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment. Do all that stuff that's good for the YouTube algorithms and by extension me. Also, I have a Patreon, so you can get beta copies of Warp Tech for only $1 a month if you so desire. The link to that is, of course, in the description, you complete and absolute gremlin people.